And welcome once again to As the Real Turns, your place for all things movie and television. My name is Dan Saletti, and we've got a great show for you once again. Now, we have covered a lot of science fiction-y stuff on here. We've covered the entirety, and by the way, it's the 60th anniversary this year, of Star Trek. And we've also covered big things like Doctor Who. And we may have to do a redo on New Who at some point. But we've covered Doctor Who on the show. But there are so many other science fiction shows out there that I said, why don't we touch upon those? You know, why not? So today we're going to be talking about other sci-fi shows. Yes, other sci-fi shows. These are the shows that are, I don't know, not to be mean, but are in the shadow of like Star Trek and Doctor Who. They have a fan base, but maybe not as big. They're shorter-lived things, and you know, they come from all over. Some are from here, some are from across the pond, you know, all that type of stuff. And we got a couple of guys to talk about with these sci-fi shows. We got my good friend Will.
Hello.
And my good friend Timothy.
Hey.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. We're going to be talking about as many sci-fi shows as we can to squeeze into the show. If we can't, we may have to do a part 2. But we're going to see how many we can squeeze in here. Some of these I know that I'm unfamiliar with. Some I bet you're unfamiliar with. And, you know, we're all going to educate ourselves, educate them. And I say we get started. Back in the 60s, there was always competition between the channels. One channel had this, the other channel had to have this. Like, one channel had Bewitched, the other had to have I Dream of Jeannie. And so the begrudgingly reluctant NBC was sadly putting on this tiny little sci-fi show called Star Trek. They were mean back then to it. So another channel said, okay, well, we have to have, you know, our fun sci-fi show. Thus, we got Lost in Space. So Lost in Space was kind of, I don't want to say the answer, but the competition, you could say, to Star Trek. It's sort of. This was basically about a family called the Robinsons, who literally get lost in space. And it was basically, the idea of it was Swiss Family Robinson in space. Okay, a few names in the show. I mean, June Lockhart,
Guy Williams.
Guy Williams, Veronica Cartwright. No.
Yep.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
I get my Cartwrights mixed up.
The Bill Mooney.
The Billy Mooney. And, of course...
Angela.
It was Angela. It was Angela. My bad. The other fun thing about it is that, you know... that theme song was actually done by John Williams. How cool is that? John Williams. So, and speaking of being lost in space, Joe was lost, but now he's here.
In space.
In space.
Yeah.
So,
and time, apparently.
and time.
Yeah.
So we've established the fact that not only a theme song by John Williams, but you know some names that were around and grew. Like I said, June Lockhart. You said Guy Williams. Disney's Zorro. Angela Cartwright. Sound of Music. Billy Mooney. And then of course we can't mention Lost in Space without mentioning Dr. Smith and Danger, Will Robinson, Robot.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
So Will, we'll start with you. With all that being said, what do you think of Lost in Space?
Careful, Will. There's danger here.
I was going to say, yeah, we have Will.
I have not actually seen Lost in Space. Yeah, I know. Bully me. I'm more of a fantasy guy, but you knew that when you invited me.
That's true.
But this show is like twice as old as you are.
That's very true.
That is true. I have seen the more recent one on, what was it, Netflix?
Yeah, they did.
I don't know if we
reboot
count
this, yeah.
that one.
I will say that the reboot looked... They were trying for a modern image, and they completely revamped the robot, and it was weird, but...
Yeah, I think it was a good sci-fi story, but from what I've seen of the original, it wasn't really the same thing.
Right. This had that 60s charm to it, which was nice, but...
That's a word for it.
That's a word for it, yeah. Fine, 60s cheesiness.
Getting closer.
In between the reboot and this, though, there was also a movie that was made in 98, I want to say.
Somewhere around there.
William Hurt, Matt LeBlanc, big names, and it was kind of a flop. But, Timothy, some thoughts here on Lost in Space?
Yeah, Lost in Space. When you told me it was going to be one of them, remember I said this is going to stretch my apologist persona.
Yes.
I do have to say it's a guilty pleasure.
That's fair.
All right. It actually predates Star Trek by a number of years.
Really? Okay.
Yes. And in fact, Leonard Nimoy, in one of the pre-Star Trek news briefings he gave,
Sure.
he said, Star Trek is not going to be another Monster of the Week show. A very not-so-subtle dig to Lost in Space,
okay.
which is what it became. Like so many shows, first few episodes had a lot of potential. And like so many of the shows that we're going to be talking about today, the network didn't have the courage to stay with the premise.
Right.
And went to the lowest common denominator fairly quickly.
Right.
So that at least by the third season, possibly late second season, it's basically devolved into the Dr. Smith and Will Robinson show.
That's very true, and that's kind of what it did become. And I also want to say it was very, very much kind of even dipping into the 50s type of sci-fi because they were in a flying saucer. What is it, the Jupiter 7?
Jupiter 2.
Jupiter 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Joe. We have Lost in Space here, and I think, what is it, 2-3 seasons long, but it still has some kind of an impact. What do you think on Lost in Space?
Lost in Space actually opened my sci-fi eyes. I mean, it helped get me ready for what was coming with Star Trek and any of the other stuff that was coming that way because, as you pointed out, it was before Star Trek. I mean, and we didn't get Star Trek. I mean, I come from the generation that had... On a good day, we had 4 channels on TV, and the Star Trek channel was not one of the ones we got. But we did get the one with Lost in Space, so when that one was coming up, being the kid I was at the time that came in, when it was time for Lost in Space, we were right there in front of the TV going, all right, what's coming up?
Sure.
And it was pretty cool. I mean, I got to confess, I got a kick out of... The Good Doctor. I mean, he was such a sniveling, whiny little... He would put his plans into motion, and when they backfired, I mean, he was just...
What are you blaming me for?
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, you know.
Oh, the pain. The pain.
Yeah, and he... I mean...
It was you.
Yeah, and he... He played that part so well.
He really did.
I appreciated his acting ability because you love to hate the guy. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, because he would be behind it, conniving, and when it went wrong, like I said, he was just an absolute, I can't use the particular word, but
we can't say that word on this show.
Right,
TVMA.
But he was just a complete whine ass. I mean,
When you say you didn't get the Star Trek channel, by the way, he means UPN.
But again, going back to why these shows are important, why you should watch them, Joe nailed it on the head. To a large extent, if it wasn't for Lost in Space, we may not have Star Trek.
True.
Lost in Space, not only did NBC need a competition, But Lost in Space showed that a weekly science fiction program could be popular and profitable.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't terribly good. Now, if you go into it understanding what you're going to get, I think a great mindset going into this is don't look at it as a science fiction TV show. Look at it as a classic Greek moral theater that happens to be on your TV.
Okay.
And in that sense, it's pretty good, because each week does have a moral story to it. It does wrap up. Yes, you kind of get the same themes week after week, but, if you go in knowing that's what you're going to get, and kick back, have the coffee, and pretend you're Mike and the Bots, and just riff it to death.
So funny that you mentioned Mike and the Bots. Anyway, I'll touch on that later. So I would say Lost in Space, if you've never seen it, go watch it because it's still a fun sci-fi romp. And after you watch the show, if you want to check out the film, maybe, and then on the reboot, you can.
As far as the film, I saw the film. Ouch.
I saw the film,
I personally don't recommend it, but I mean, if you feel you must, go for it.
Go for it, yeah. So, on this show, you know how much we love to jump between years and times all the time. So we're going to do some jumping here. We're going to jump a little bit further now, and I want to say it was the 90s, maybe early 2000s the show was on. Again, this kind of shows how much I know about some of these shows. So we all know the Muppets, right?
Yeah.
We all know that they made a movie themselves called Muppets from Space. Well, what if we actually kind of dipped a little further into that and actually made like a Muppets in Space, or a show that involved some Muppets with some space? Because the Jim Henson Company was involved. That's where I'm going with this. A show called Farscape. So Farscape, I don't really know too much about this show.
You poor child.
I know there was some Jim Henson Company puppeteering involved with this show. I do know that. But Timothy, will go to you as the intro runs here.
That was one of them, Rigel.
Yeah, okay.
Pilot that was Pilot just then.
Okay, so then there we go.
No, he's not a Muppet. That's a real person.
Oh, never mind. Well, anyway, tell me, what is Farscape?
Farscape is hands down the single greatest science fiction show nobody has ever heard of.
Okay.
To the point where the two first people shown there, Ben Browder and Claudia Black, later were on the last couple of seasons of Stargate SG-1. And they actually did a self-referential where Claudia Black's character is basically doing a can you guess the show type thing.
Yep.
And they do like a 10-second spot of the cast of SG-1 dressed up as the cast of Farscape. They play the music the whole 9 yards, and it cuts back, and they're like, we have no idea what that is. The basic premise, Ben Browder's character, Crichton, it has an experimental space drive engine. It's only supposed to take him around the solar system and back. Something goes wrong.
Of course it does.
He pops through a wormhole to at least the other side of the galaxy, maybe the other side of the universe. Where he pops in is in the middle of a gigantic space battle, accidentally kills the brother of the big bad of the show. The other cast members see him do this. This is technology they've never seen. They kidnap him onto the living ship Moira, because this is a prison ship. They're all prisoners on board.
Okay.
They've done a rebellion. They're taking over the ship, and they're like, you have to show us how to do this. And he's like, do what? I don't know. And that's the basic premise of the show, is the big bad is trying to get revenge on Crichton, so he's chasing them across the galaxy. They're all escaped criminals anyway on a ship that they stole from the empire that Big Bad belongs to. And Crichton's like, I'm just trying to get home.
Okay, so you got to repeat that whole thing. I wasn't listening at all.
I'm sure you
No. Okay. All right. I get it. And was I right? Like this is what 90s, early 2000s.
somewhere in there.
Somewhere
I
in
forget
that?
exactly.
But there was a lot of Jim Henson stuff in here, right?
Yeah, the Henson Company was involved. Pilot is a 7-foot tall animatronic Muppet. Rigel is a Muppet, but these guys, the makeup is insanely good. The special effects
That's what I
are
heard,
really
yeah.
good. Gigi Edgley is like Harley Quinn without all the sugar and spice. This had to go direct to
Did it last
direct
long?
to cable. It went at least 3 seasons, 4 seasons.
Something like
Something like
yeah.
that. And they went back, Brian Henson got the rights to the show and went back and did a 3-hour movie to wrap up the
Oh,
storyline.
good. Okay. I like that.
There are portions on here that you couldn't show the clips. They're not frontal, but everything else.
Oh, goody.
I love Anthony Simcoe, the one with the tentacles coming off of his chin, because
Okay.
you see him without makeup, and he looks like one of us. He looks like a geek, and you're like, one of us made it onto a show this good.
Well, I do know, because I was going through some clips of this show, and we had an episode where we talked about live action cartoon hybrids, and I saw a scene where one of the characters is talking to another, and she's animated, and she goes through all these almost Warner Brother Looney Tunes twirl changes. I think she's Marilyn Monroe at one point, or Madonna at another point. It's like, okay, that's funny. I like that.
I miss you.
Obviously. Where are my clothes?
On talent, you and that other guy, the other me, you're not,
Don't do it to yourself, John.
right.
Oh, no. Before you go, you fix this. I get it. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Oh, please. At least use some imagination. Happy birthday, Mr. Astronaut. Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Honey, that's wrong Shakespeare.
There's no place like home. Hey, Johnny. Like a virgin?
Rescue you.
Can you do that Sharon Stone thing? Basic Instinct?
Johnny, just say.
No.
There's a good boy. Thank you. Now, what are you gonna do about Doggo?
I don't know. I'm supposed to talk to him, not really sure what to say. Any advice? Help?
Doggo! Doggo, could you just leave young Johnny alone, please?
No.
Run, Forrest, run!
But Joe, do you know about Farscape and anything that Timothy has said?
Well,
interests you?
I bit my tongue to keep from correcting Timothy.
Go ahead.
Because
Uh-oh.
when he said the show that most nobody has ever heard of, I have heard of it. It is.
Yeah, but you're not nobody.
Yeah.
You're
well,
somebody.
I'll take that. I'll go with that. But here's the thing. I caught maybe the first episode of the first season, and Farscape is on my list of things that I've got to catch up on and watch.
Okay.
Because I've heard nothing but good about the whole series. And I was just like, something happened at that point in time. I think I moved, and I lost the cable channel that Farscape was playing on, so I've never caught up to the rest of it. And thanks for the spoiler alert, but it didn't spoil it for me because I'm like, now I want to see it even more than ever. So
Okay.
because I want to see the rest of it because, like I said, I hate, I did enjoy what I saw, and I hate missing out in the middle of it and then not catching up to it afterwards. So
That's fair.
As far as Farscape is concerned, yeah, it's on my must-see list, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will, I mean, do you know about Farscape, and does anything that the two of them have said interest you about it?
I have not heard of it before today.
What does that make Will?
Yeah. So I think based on what Timothy said, I might be converted and I might need to check it out.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you because I don't know too much about Farscape, but honestly, this sounds interesting enough where I may jump on this. If anything is like that one clip that I saw, you know, I love when shows do that hybrid type of stuff. So that was really cool. And I do like me a good Muppet, even if it's not like the Muppets. I like me a good animatronic puppeteer thing. So yeah, I would check out Farscape. You may end up liking it.
I will warn anyone going in, if you get into the show and really like the show, this is one of at least two shows we're going to be talking about here. The writers are not afraid to torture these characters.
That means they're good writers.
That means they're good writers, yeah. All right, let's go on to oh man, this was like the loudest whisper. That's what I'm going to call this, a very loud whisper, because it was a short thing, but man did it make an impact. I believe it was on Fox for only 13 episodes. Only 13 episodes, but man did people love this thing. And it even got, you know, like a big finale movie, and I haven't seen one bit of it. It's called Firefly. So, Firefly. What I know is that it stars Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk. That's all I can give you, and it's not about lightning bugs.
Ron Glass, Adam Baldwin.
Oh, okay. All right. More names I know. This is good. Will, I'm going to go to you first. As the intro rolls here for our loud whisper, again, that's what I'm calling it. What is Firefly?
So Firefly, I actually just started watching Firefly. It is
About fireflies.
Yes, it is actually about fireflies.
Yes!
In that the ship is a firefly. That's what the ship is named. I believe it's like the class of ship.
class.
Yeah.
The ship itself is
Yeah.
named Serenity.
Yes.
Ah.
And it's essentially a Western in space, pretty much. The main character, he's like a veteran. And
That's Nathan Fillion.
Yes.
Okay.
Nathan Fillion is the only character that I knew going into this.
We all love Nathan
I love
Fillion.
me Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion.
Who doesn't love Nathan Fillion? Him being there was enough to get me to watch it. I've been putting it off for a while because I know that it got canceled, and there's the whole Revive Firefly movement, and I'm like, I really want to watch this show, but I know I'm going to be sad when it's over because it's not going to end good.
Well, we're living in an age, remember, where nothing is truly over. Yes. Because if they can bring back things like Full House.
You heard it here, folks. Firefly's coming back.
Yeah.
He promised you.
It's
If
gonna
it
come
doesn't-
back.
If it's all on him.
You know what?
If it doesn't come back, it's all on him.
He
made false promises.
You all know me well enough where I very much could make my own version of this, and I am not afraid to do it.
Do it. Get Nathan Fillion.
Are you kidding? we'll have Daniel play Mal, or possibly Jane.
I don't want to be called Jane. Anyway, okay. Joe, with Firefly, it was like Will was saying, it's a Western in space. Gee, where have I seen that before? It only lasted 13 episodes, but it made people loved this thing. And like I said, they did get like I don't know if it was a in theaters movie, but it was a wrap-up movie called Serenity, What do you think about Firefly?
Firefly is one I missed totally.
Okay.
I've heard of it.
Jump in my boat.
Yeah. I've heard of it, but the fact that there were only 13 episodes, there have been numerous fantastic series that have only lasted so long.
That's
Right there. And to just say, well, there was only 13 episodes, why bother? No. No, I've heard of it, and then again, I've heard good things, and I keep saying to myself, on my list, someday when I actually do completely retire, I have a bunch of things that I'm going to sit down, watch, and read to go with it.
That's fair.
I've heard so much good about Firefly as well that I can't wait to get my hands on it so I can sit down and watch it. And I'm curious about the Serenity thing because I did read up on Firefly. There's a lot of, I don't know, speculation, if you want to use that word, about whether that was actually a continuation or an ending to Firefly, which my understanding was they never really wrapped it up, to say the least. So I'm kind of curious to see the whole thing.
That's fair.
See what they've got going on. So,
Timothy, I mean, it seems like Fox doesn't like sci-fi because they keep canceling really good science fiction shows. But what are your thoughts here on Firefly?
Firefly is, without a doubt, the best show Joss Whedon ever made. Sorry, Buffy fan.
That's right.
Buffy and Angel ran a lot longer.
That was him, yeah.
But no, this is superb. The sets are amazing. The special effects are astounding. Every episode is something of a quality that you would expect to see in a full-length motion picture.
Okay.
The writing is spectacular. Through the course of the show, of these 13 episodes, all of the cast gets some kind of character development. When we're dropped in the first episode, we don't know who any of these people are. They don't know who most of the other people on the ship are. And we get to find out a lot about them. The Serenity movie at the end does leave it open for more adventures. Again, I will say, fall in love with the show, fall in love with the characters, but not everyone survives.
Oh, great.
Spoilers, I just started watching it.
I didn't say who.
Will, you die. Sorry.
One thing I have to put out there, the character of Mao, played by Nathan Fillion.
Yep.
If you want anything for a hook for his character, end of the first episode, no spoilers here, he's talking with the doctor, offering the doctor a place on the ship. And the doctor says, well, paraphrasing, I don't want to be insulting, but how do I know you won't kill me in my sleep? And Mao's face gets this really tightly controlled rage on it. He looks him in the eye and says, you don't know me, so I'm going to tell you this once. If I ever kill you, you'll be awake, you'll be facing me, and there will be a weapon in your hand.
Whoa.
nice.
Okay. Wow.
That was a really good scene.
I'm trying to put this as delicately as I can. How do I know you won't kill me in my sleep?
You don't know me, son, so let me explain this to you once. If I ever kill you, you'll be awake. You'll be facing me, and you'll be armed.
Are you always this sentimental?
Had a good day.
You had the Alliance on you. Criminals and savages. Half the people on the ship have been shot or wounded, including yourself, and you're harboring known fugitives.
Oh, still flying.
That's not much.
It's enough.
Well then, I guess we're all going to have to watch some Firefly here because this seems really interesting. And, if you're worried about, this is a perfect example. With a lot of these shows, if you're worried about time commitment, like there's a lot of Doctor Who, there's a lot of Star Trek, these things are pretty darn short. and most of them are quick. So you can still have the same amount of affection for them, just with a limited amount of time, which is nice. So I might have to check out Firefly because it certainly does sound like fun, and I like we've all said, we like me some Nathan Fillion. We like us some Nathan Fillion. So yeah, definitely check out some Firefly. Since Joe pointed it out, I'm gonna do this one next. Again, short-lived sci-fi things that make a giant impact. That I'm adding this. Battlestar Galactica. Battlestar Galactica. Again, I don't know too much about it, but I know that we always joke about how like westerns and sci-fi kind of mix. Oh yeah, Firefly. Oh yeah, Star Trek is Wagon Train. But you have, I'm going to get it wrong. Bonanza. Lorne Greene as the star of Battlestar Galactica. He was a Western cowboy and now doing a science fiction show. So Joe, what is Battlestar Galactica?
Battlestar Galactica actually, as best I can describe it, is one that when we had the gap between the Star Treks, if my timing is correct, yanked me back into sci-fi.
Okay.
Because I have always, for some twisted reason, and I will call it twisted, for some twisted reason been, what's the word I want? I have always been fascinated by the thought of the end of the human race.
Okay.
And to see the human race beaten down to the point where it's really rough for them to come back. I mean,
so it's like dystopian type of a thing. It's like a dystopian thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, because the Cylons came in. The Cylons being the machine entities.
This guy.
Them right there.
Okay.
Who have decided that mankind needs to be eradicated.
Okay.
I mean, totally eliminated from the universe.
Okay.
And almost completely managed to do so. And as you said, Lorne Greene brought Ben Cartwright to space.
Yeah.
I mean, he brought the same power and strength into that character that he had on Bonanza.
Where will we go? Our recorded history tells us that we descended from a mother civilization, a race that went out into space to establish colonies. Those of us here assembled now represent the only known surviving colonies, save one. A sister world, far out in the universe, remembered to us only through ancient writings. It is my intention to seek out that remaining colony, that last outpost of humanity in the whole universe.
Commander Adama, this 13th colony, this other world, where is it and what is it called?
I wish I could tell you that I know precisely where it is, but I can't. However, I do know that it lies beyond our star system, in a galaxy very much like our own, on a planet called Earth.
Okay.
And it was awesome to watch him perform in that thing, in that capacity. And they had a fantastic cast on top of it. So much to the point that when the reboot came out, a lot of us, myself included, had a hard time stomaching the new Battlestar Galactica for certain reasons, personal. I will say that this was the 70s and 80s style.
Sure. The original was.
The original version had its, it was kind of, I don't know, campy, and it was a little bit.
Oh, we'll get to campy.
Yeah. I mean, and it was
wait for it.
It was. I was thinking about it earlier, and it was just a situation where it was toned down to the point where it was almost a little too carefree to believe that they were fleeing from the enemy of humankind.
Right.
Okay. And that's where a lot of people had a hard time with the new Battlestar, because that was darker, as it should have been.
But my question is, why could they have just? Is it the same characters as the original?
Yes and no.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Yes and no. They made some, well, as they always do in a reboot, they made some alterations to fit their view and their vision of the whole thing. And in so doing, kind of made it hard for people like me who got attached to the earlier version of it.
Right.
So the old Battlestar Galactica, basically it's what it is mankind trying to survive the onslaught of the machine entities who want to see the end of the human race. Is about what it comes down to.
Okay.
You know, I mean, almost it's, I think I'd use a post-apocalyptic type thing.
Okay.
You know, because as I said, the Cylons, the enemy of humankind, did very nearly manage to wipe out humankind.
Flight Leader Serpentine, by your command.
Report, Centurion, on the final assault.
On each of the 12 planets, a similar story is told of a handful of ships who escaped destruction to rendezvous with a warship.
What kind of warship?
A Battlestar called Galactica.
Then go and seek out Boltar. Tell him I am displeased. Tell him I offer a choice. Deliver the Battlestar Galactica, or deliver his head.
And the whole thing is, this is a group of survivors trying to find help from planet Earth of the 80s.
Now,
which was a lost colony.
Okay. Well, first of all, Will, let me say, everything that Joe had said. Do you know about Battlestar Galactica? Would you watch Battlestar Galactica?
I would watch Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the 70s or
the 70s? Do you want camp or do you want dark?
Yeah.
I think I would go with camp. I think it's usually more fun.
That's fair.
Yeah.
A lot of dark shows I've noticed are just dark for the sake of being dark.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I say all the time. And Timothy, quickly here, could they have just called it, Battlestar Galactica: The Next Generation, or
No.
But any quick thoughts here on Battlestar?
Because Star Trek Next Generation is exactly that. It's
Right.
the Next Generation.
Right.
This was a reboot. The characters have the same names, being played by different actors. The basic premise is the same, but some of the details are different, and importantly, different.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe, between the two of them, I think the reboot is a better show. That being said, the original is good, is really good in and of itself. I'm having a brain fart here. The A-Team played Face, Templeton Peck, the actor.
Oh.
When that name comes to you, he is Starbuck in the original.
Okay.
This is what got him his start before
Not
he did the A-Team.
not Schultz, not Dwight Schultz.
No.
No, okay,
No.
so not Barclay.
But the original is quite good on its own. There is a coda to the original called Battlestar Galactica 1980, which is where if you're a fan of camp, Galactica 1980 will make you do a face palm. Okay, but
Sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah, this guy likes camp.
yes, one of, not the only, but one of the reasons Galactica went as short as it did is they ran out of money defending themselves against a lawsuit brought to them by George Lucas, who at the time was basically trying to claim that he owned all of outer space.
George!
He
Love-hate
lost that
relationship with
suit.
George.
He lost that suit, but by the time Galactica won, they couldn't continue.
George, this is why we don't cover your franchise on this show, man. This is why we don't do it.
Now, again, to be fair, it wasn't the only reason, but it certainly didn't help.
But it's fun to rag on him too.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I guess I like a good camp, and I like dark when it's played well.
Yes.
When it's not just
it has to be played well.
If it's played for dark, I don't like it. But if it's played well, I may have to check out Battlestar Galactica just to see the difference with Lorne Greene. I just want to see like how he plays a sci-fi guy.
And if you have seen the new one, see the old one to see that difference.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you've not seen either, see the original first so that you can see what changes were made.
Right. So we are running a little low on time, so we're going to squeeze a couple more in here. So we may have to do a part 2 for this because we have so many others on this list that there's so many to talk about. But I want to cover the stuff that's on the table too. So the second to last thing I want to talk about here is that we have talked about Star Trek on this show. We had so many episodes about Star Trek. We love Star Trek on this show. Another guy who likes Star Trek a lot is Seth MacFarlane. Now, I am in no way a fan of Seth MacFarlane's, really. Sorry, his animated... There we go.
Sorry, guys.
What's that?
I will not fist bump that.
I don't like his animated sitcoms, really. His films, although clever concepts, go a little leeway, and it's like, oh, no, don't do that. However, when he approached Fox, his home, essentially, and said, hey, I want to do basically a Star Trek show, I said, I turned it on. I said, oh my gosh. Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane. That show was, of course, The Orville. Now, my first question is, why is it called The Orville? I don't really know why. Is it a Wright Brothers reference? I don't know. But, okay, hear me out. This is like the 30-something century, I think this is what it's supposed to be. And what this is yes, it is essentially, without saying it, Star Trek. They have a great line of people on here. Adrian Palacki is on here. They got a freaking Star Trek actor. Where is she? There she is. Penny Johnson-Gerald. Cassidy from DS9. Scott Grimes is on this. I'm blanking on other ones as well. But so many people on this show. And behind the scenes as well. Star Trek actors doing directing and writing. Now, you watch this first season.
And this is a Star Trek opening.
That's such a Star Trek opening. Oh my God. They use the lingo. We're on the bridge. We have to get to the shuttle. They use every word except, I think, transporter. I lost my train of thought. The first season. If you watch that first season, you say to yourself, they're poking fun. This is a comedy. Because they throw jokes at everything.
Oh, yeah.
They throw jokes at everything, and I'm not complaining. I love that. But as the series progresses, the second season actually gets a little bit deeper in storytelling. You get to the point where you say like, oh, this is actually like taking up Star Trek level storytelling here. This just shows how much I know about this show. How much I like the show. And then again, like Firefly, Fox canceled this science fiction show, but Hulu picked it up for a third season. And although fairly good, I feel like they dipped into Star Wars territory a little much because it was a lot of pew, 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 pew type of stuff. And they deviated a little. But, Will, I'll go to you first. What are your thoughts here on The Orville?
I've been waiting for you to talk about this one because it's the only one on the list that I've seen in full.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
But like you said, it is very much a Star Trek show. Like, I have not seen a lot of Star Trek. I've seen some of the original. I've seen some some Next Generation. But like, you can tell pretty immediately that like this is a Star Trek show with a little bit more comedy. But they do have, those like deep levels of writings. Like, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but like they talk about like very mature topics.
Yep.
And they do a really good job. I think the special effects are for the most part really good.
Yeah.
There are some times where you can tell like, yeah, that's CGI, but it's a TV show. Like you can't be that picky.
I swear, every person that McFarlane has gotten on his like Family Guy show, everything like that, every actor he knows, he said, "Hey, can you be on my silly Star Trek show?" Because they have been. Jason Alexander, Norm Macdonald, Patrick Warburton, even Star Trek actors. Deanna Troi, Maria Sirtis has been on here. A few others that I can't remember right now, but like Ted Danson, Victor Garber, all these actors. So Timothy, I mean, the Orville.
Well, this is where Will and I were mirror images of each other. This was the only show on the list I had never seen. And when
Point Will.
Point Will. When you said it was on here, research. I've only seen a few episodes of the first season.
Right.
I've heard it said that Star Trek fans have no sense of humor.
Wrong.
I've heard it said, but
Voyage Home?
Yeah. Most of the time, not always, most of the time it's because the humor or the humor that's being poked at Star Trek is not a loving humor. It's a cracked style humor, a Mad Magazine style humor. It's a mean-spirited humor.
Sure.
And when you're doing this to a show that people love, I mean, even a roast may have been okay.
Right.
So, and that's the attitude when I heard Orville is kind of like a funny Star Trek. I'm like, oh. But I watched it. I also don't care, as a rule, for Seth MacFarlane's animated shows. But first episode and a few episodes later, I'm like, okay, yes, this is Star Trek.
Yep.
This is the Federation.
Yep.
This is a military vessel and a military crew. But somebody went around to everybody on the crew and took the stick out of their butt. And
it's very true.
This is a crew. This is a ship with a crew of real people.
Yeah.
The captain and his first officer are divorced.
Well, yeah, that's a whole ongoing thing as it is. Yeah.
Door's jammed. Alara, you want to open this jar of pickles for me? You want to open this jar of pickles for me? You want to open this jar of pickles? I loosened it for you.
And they bicker on the bridge.
Yeah.
The helmsman, I think it is, I don't know all the character names yet, yells at the captain and other people from time to time.
Scott Grimes?
Full out yells at them. You do that on a Star Trek episode, you're in the brig. I mean, and so yes, it takes a bit of getting used to, but this is Star Trek comedy done right.
Exactly. In fact, I'll tell you a Star Trek joke. Star Trek 5. That's a good joke right there. Joe, now it only lasted supposedly 3 seasons, and but yeah, like we've all said, is it Star Trek or can it stand on its own feet? Have you ever seen the Orville?
I hadn't heard of it till tonight.
Oh, well, welcome to the Orville.
Unlike the rest of you,
split perfectly down the middle.
Good Seth MacFarlane stuff.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean,
I'll call you when we cover him.
Some of the stuff that he does cracks me up. That's just
fair enough.
My twisted sense of humor. But after hearing you guys talk about it, I've got to see it.
You've got to see this show.
I've got to see it. Yeah.
It's worth it because you have. MacFarlane did his research so much that you can see you've got your Worf similarity, you got your Data similarity. Yeah. I will say real quick, security officer wise, I'm going to spoil it for you here. They trade the security officer out, but I am Team Alara. I love Alara, and I mean that because I have a thing for her. Anyway, but yeah. Yes. That's terrible.
Yes. All right, Lieutenant Alara Katan, our chief of security.
Yes, sir.
You're Salean, right?
I am, sir.
Wait, don't you guys have super strength?
Soleia's gravitational pull is high compared to the planetary average, so yes, in Earth normal gravity, my physical strength is elevated.
Lieutenant, how old are you?
23.
You're 23 and you're chief of security on a starship.
Selanes don't usually join the military, so when one of us does, the Union generally fast tracks us.
Well, I'm sure they know what they're doing.
Sir, I know I'm not as experienced as you were expecting, but you can count on me.
I hope so. Lieutenant John Lamar, our navigator. How's it going, John?
Yeah, it's going, man. How's it going with you?
It's going good. It says here you're a level 8 helmsman, too. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's right. So our last captain let us have soda on the bridge while we were working, and I just want to make sure that's still okay.
Yeah, if you keep it below the equipment and don't spill any, sure.
Ah, dig it. Boom.
All right, Lieutenant Commander Bordas, our second officer. You know, I've never met a single gender species before. Your entire species is male, isn't it?
That is correct, sir.
So there's probably not a lot of arguments about leaving the toilet seat up and that kind of thing, right?
No, Mocklins urinate only once per year.
Really? I'm up 2-3 times a night.
That is unfortunate.
It is. Dr. Claire Finn, you're my chief medical officer, yes?
Yes, sir, I am. Welcome aboard.
Your credentials are exceptional. Molecular surgery, DNA engineering, psychiatry. You could be posted on a heavy cruiser. What are you doing on the Orville?
I always request my transfers based on where I think I'm needed. I feel more stimulated that way.
And so what made you request this ship?
Well, this is your first command, and I think you could use my help.
So you think I might screw up?
No, sir, I didn't say that, sir.
Well, no, but you implied that you don't think I have the balls to do this job.
Well, I am your doctor, sir, and if your balls aren't to par, I'll know.
All right, and finally, Isaac, our science and engineering officer, hailing from Kalon 1.
Affirmative, sir.
You know, I gotta tell you, I was surprised to see any Kalon serving in the fleet. Aren't you guys legendarily racist?
My planet regards humans and other biological life forms as inferior, if that is your inference.
Oh, that's great, thanks.
You are welcome.
Well, so what are you doing on a Union ship?
Your fleet's admiralty offered a posting to any Kalon willing to take it as an effort to initiate relations between Kalon and the Union. We accepted. I was chosen to represent my planet. I see it as an ideal opportunity to study human behavior.
Well, we'll try not to bore you.
You will find me to be your most capable officer.
All right, everybody settle in. We ship out this afternoon.
Yes, no, it's if you've never seen The Orville, go watch The Orville. It is so good. And if you're a Star Trek fan, you're going to be saying, Galaxy Quest, take a back seat. There's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah.
So yes, go check out The Orville. The last one I want to cover today, because it's the last thing on the table here. We all talked about camp. Today there were some campy chapters, Lost in Space, Battlestar, heck, even Orville at times could be fun and campy. Okay. You know, like back in the 30s when there used to be those movie serials of, 30s and 40s, Batman and Superman had them, but also Flash Gordon had some, but then there was another guy, I'm sorry, by the name of Buck Rogers. Hey everybody, Daniel Soletti here. Apparently Universal loves Buck Rogers so much that they wouldn't even let me use the show's intro. So what you're hearing is the recorded cover theme song from the intro to this talk show episode, and me talking over it. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, yes, in the late 70s, we got the new Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers in the 25th century, starring Gil Gerard as Captain Rogers, who is frozen in his space shuttle Ranger 3 and is returned back to Earth 500 years later. The show also stars Aaron Gray as Colonel Wilma Deering, a nice character and a nice one to add to my list, along with Alara, I might add. I think Joe's going to talk upon that. It also stars Tim O'Connor as Dr. Hewer, who Timothy was very happy about. Tim! Who is kind of one of the leaders of this Earth Defense Force that Buck now is kind of working for. And the show just is about how he's trying to fit into the 25th century and how everyone around him is trying to understand his 1987 lingo, which is kind of fun. Now back to the show. We hope. When you say camp, so I actually tried to watch this show years ago, and I don't think I ever grabbed onto me enough. But I said, I want to watch it again.
Now, Daniel?
Yes?
You really think that a show where one of the major characters is voiced by Bugs Bunny is campy?
Very true.
Who'da thunk?
Who'da thunk? Anyway, so I said, I'm going to watch it again. And you know what? Yeah, okay. It is very campy. It's very cheesy. It's very silly. You're saying to yourself, man, I haven't seen so many, crop tops on women in the future since Captain Kirk's time. Anyway, Buck Rogers, he basically, is going up against all these aliens in the 25th century, trying to fit in, and they're trying to understand his, 1987 lingo. Yeah. And yes, he's teamed up with this little tiny robot, which is a little person in a costume, named Twiki. And Twiki is voiced by Mel Blanc, Bugs Bunny.
What about Buck? Someone isn't gonna like that. What a bummer. You know what fat chance means, bub?
And he's sometimes accompanied by this circular robot named Dr. Theopolis, who's this normal sounding person who kind of translate for Twiki sometimes. And then Erin Gray is in there. She's this fellow pilot in the Star Force that protects Earth.
Well, she's a colonel.
She's a colonel, yes, colonel.
And may I add, the only reason I watched the show.
Please go ahead and tell us about poor old Buck Rogers. We have Ranger 3, his shuttle on the table here.
Yeah, no, I mean...
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I found Twiki highly annoying. I mean, you would think in that century they could create a robot that didn't stutter. Honestly, I mean, that was most annoying to me whatsoever.
What a
it just,
What about
and
Buck?
He seemed kind of an idiot. So I understood why...
I like Twiki.
I understand why he had the little other robot stuck to him, because he was an idiot.
Who they got rid of, I think, actually. They got rid of the other...
circle.
Yeah, they got rid of the circle robot. They kept Twiki, but...
Yeah.
But, anything else for Buck Rogers from you?
But, I watched more of that than... I blame my ex-wife for that. She used to watch all this crap to begin with.
She's a character on this show right now.
Huh?
She's a character on this show. We brought her up.
Well, yeah, I know. It's not the first time
I know.
Her up, but it's not the first time that I've made mention of the fact that some of the rotten stuff I've seen is because of her. Because she'd get a hold of the TV and I'd be watching whatever it was, because every time I tried to change the channel, it was like, you're not going to watch that, are you?
She did her job well.
Yeah, she did.
But yeah, I can move on. Yeah. Timothy, I can't help laugh.
You want to move on? You can, but do you want to?
I mean, I can't help laugh at Buck Rogers, but and I know it's done sillily, and I know it's done for camp and cheese, and Gil Gerard, he didn't even want to do this show because he was afraid he was going to end up like Adam West Batman.
So he called me up and said they want to talk to you about Buck Rogers. I'm not interested, because I saw what it did to Adam West's career, Batman, and this was another cartoon character, and I thought, I don't, Bob Pip Bam and all that bullshit, I don't want to do this campy stuff. So they came back again, and I said no again, and I wouldn't read the script. I was just like, I'm not interested. And so they contacted my agent again and said, look, would you read the script? If you think it's something that Gil would like to do, would you have him read it? So he did, and he called me and he said, you should read the script, it's not what you think it is. So I read it and I said, well, yeah, I like the character. He's got a good sense of humor. It's kind of fun. It's not campy. And then we did the movie and it was hugely successful.
It was like,
he wasn't wrong.
And he was,
well, that's it.
And I feel so bad for him because he's like, Adam West was at least able to make fun of it. He came back as Batman a couple times. Gil Gerard got nothing. He got this and nothing else.
Was it Gil that did Spencer for Hire, or was that someone else?
I think that was someone else.
Okay. Anyway.
But yes, any quick thoughts here on Buck Rogers in the 25th century?
Yeah. He the thing Gil brought to the show is that he leaned into it a bit.
Oh yeah.
You can tell he's having a fun time doing the show. And talk about camp. Did you see the movie-length version of the first episode.
Very long time ago, when I started this rewatch, I skipped it.
Oh, well, you see, you should have, because it would appeal to your own geekdom. Do you remember the Bond girl opening to it? With all those girls draped over the...
No.
I'm pretty sure that was it. I may be confusing it with something else.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, scantily clad girls draped over... Oh, Buck, oh, Buck.
Well, I know that even had lyrics in the in the movie. Yeah,
I don't remember that at all.
I may be thinking of another show.
Well, it's also crap too. The lyrics are crap. So,
but,
right?
Yeah, but it's the 1980s.
Yeah.
This is a post-apocalyptic era.
Yeah.
One of the nice things, you say the theme song is sticks in your head.
For the show, not the lyrics.
Yeah, for the show. But that spinning bit as he's going through the fight is showing you all the history that he missed.
Yes.
Because he's frozen.
Yes.
So you get kind of a sense of what's going on. Remember, in the 1980s, this is overstating it a bit, but if you were a preteen or teenager in the 80s, you went to bed at night not sure if the planet would be there if you woke up in the morning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of playing towards that. In a way, it's the 80s version of Star Trek. It's saying things are bad, things are going to get worse, but humanity's going to survive.
Do you think they picked up on some Star Trek things for this show?
They may have.
Just because of the setting and how it was made, but...
The original concept of Buck Rogers, as you said, is a lot older than that. And they kept a lot of the original concept for it. But yeah, overall, as a camp show, it's good. This is another one I have to say would have gone longer, but second season,
very short.
They abandoned their original premise.
Yeah.
And they totally revamped the show, and it was a mistake.
It was. Will, you love camp. We know this.
I do love camp.
But would you be even able to swallow Buck Rogers here?
Possibly.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Just with everything that we said, and you saw the intro there too.
Yeah. I do enjoy a good, just campy show from time to time. Especially now that I am in college and have absolutely no free time to actually watch things. It's very nice to just have something on in the background that I can still enjoy while doing work.
Oh yeah, this is a background show.
Yeah. Actually, things that I need to sit down and watch, I don't have a lot of time for. So I've been watching a lot of campy stuff recently.
Well, we can get you to watch this. Well, anyway, but if you've never seen the Buck Rogers in the 25th Century Show, just be fair warned. It's very silly. It's very campy, but it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride, and unlike Firefly, this never really got a send off or a tie up at all ends. So I wonder, what if there was a rescue team that went and got Buck Rogers from the 25th century? Guess who's gonna make a show about that? Yes, sir. Me. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make Buck Rogers from the 25th century. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it, but my thought process is that he gets lost throughout history and we have to go find him. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, I'm going to put a pin in it right there because we are out of time. But I want to thank you guys so much for coming on, talking about all these wildly strange science fiction shows. There are so many others that we have to talk about. Some from across the pond, some that have maybe overstayed their welcome with so many spin-offs. I'm looking at you, Stargate. Anyway, I'm going to end the show here by playing Who Are You? And what's going to happen here is, Will, this is your first time on the show.
Yes.
So, yeah, Will's first time. Woo! Will's first time. I'm going to play a clip.
Okay.
And you have to tell me who it is and or what it's from. You two know what you're doing.
Right.
So if you want to roll that clip, Magic and Tech Team, that would be awesome.
If I had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. Nothing would be what it is, because everything would be what it isn't. And contrariwise, What it is, it wouldn't be. And what it wouldn't be, it would. You see? Ow. In my world, you wouldn't say,
So I'm playing the clip for them here as well. So just judging from that voice, Joe's like, "What in the world is going on here?" I'll let that sink into your head here for a second. Will, I'm going to start with you. Who is that, and/or what is it from?
It doesn't sound familiar. I'm usually good at pinning these things, so I don't think I've seen this.
Okay, you can take a wild guess.
It is giving me like Alice in Wonderland vibes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
Because I don't think I've seen the original cartoon.
What? Shame on you.
I know. Shame on me.
I'm an Alice in Wonderland fan. That would be an interesting show. Talk about all the iterations of Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
Oy.
That would be nice.
One we might not be able to talk about on television. Anyway, all right, I will take an Alice in Wonderland, sure. Timothy, any thoughts?
Oh, several, but most of them can't be broadcast on television.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You saw that version too, huh?
No.
Glad I haven't.
Yeah. Excuse me. That's actually what I was thinking as well. I'm going to have to go with the Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland.
This is making me much more confident in my decision.
Oh.
Joe?
I'm not totally sure, but somehow, for some reason, it's reminiscent. It reminds me of the snotty little girl on the new version with Johnny Depp of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I don't know where that's coming from because part of my head's going, I don't recall that, but that's where I'm thinking it's coming from.
Not bad. All right, so we got...
Okay.
So we got 2 Alice in Wonderlands and a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So let's see what that is. It's nothing. It is Alice in Wonderland. Yes.
nothing would be.
The reason I chose that is because I actually did rewatch the 1951 Disney movie just recently, and I have been an Alice fan since I was a very little kid. I've always loved it, and I said I'm going to rewatch this, and it still holds up. It is still a great movie. So I'm going to say 1,000 points to each of you.
Excellent.
He gets double points for getting it his first try.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome.
2,000 points, 1,000 points, and 1,000 points for...
Good effort.
For bringing the Battlestar Galactica. There you go. So, again, thank you guys for coming on the show. We will have to do more sci-fi shows because, like I said, we have a whole bunch of other ones to discuss. And until then, my name is Dennis Aletti. This has been As the Real Turns. Thank you to our Magic and Tech team. And that is a wrap. We will see you next time.